My apologies, Captain. That bunyip spell left us powders drained. So yep, once again making callbacks to Chapter 7. After the bunyip spell, the powders were all tired out from that group effort, so that's the reason Malcolm is struggling in this chapter.
I have to keep reminding myself, it's only been a few minutes since Chapter 7 of Fresh vs. Snake Staff in the timeline of this, or has it been any longer?
I imagine it's just been... minutes? I imagine from there, from Chapter 7 till now, it's been just about an hour and a half, so... Yeah.
Well, they got to that planet quick.
Very quick.
Where nowhere is. I was gonna say, I liked this. I actually liked this in my reaction because if you think about, I pointed out that if you think about how powerful they were shooting the Dalek mothership in Chapter 6, they've used all that power to create the bunyip, and that shows how powerful the bunyip is. You know?
Yeah.
Which is another thing that works with what I've got planned later on.
God, what a start. We crashed the ship, and we're stranded in the middle of a desert.
Maybe not yet. Blooper. Scout the area and see if you can find the Pangborn tribe. They know who we are, and they will be more than happy to dig us out.
So yes, adding more lore to the Star Sense crew and their backstories, because that's Shatterback's species, that's the name of it, the Pangborn.
Yeah, it's teasing who we're going to meet in a few minutes.
Yeah. And the following line that Blooper says was partly based off of Flight of the Navigator, because Max... the ship's computer says that a lot whenever they agree to do something. Can you get us out of here? Compliance. So
I've not watched that movie in years.
So yeah, I just thought why not use it here to describe what Blooper's like.
Compliance. Beep bop beep beep bop.
And that shot was yet another example of me using PowerPoint and screen capture.
Is it when Blooper flies off into the distance, it looks like a 3D model of him rather than the 2D model?
Yeah, because believe it or not, out of all of Blooper's 2D references, I never developed a backwards reference. So while I was in college throughout this year, I thought why not make some references to make things easier to draw, but I just thought this is going to be a fast shot, so why not just have the 3D render fly away instead?
Okay, how are the specimens in the biodome?
They're a little stressed out from the crash, but otherwise, they're all okay.
Too hot. Too hot.
So chances are there's going to be at least one clip of Snarf in every one of my chapters from now on. So yeah, this is him trying to escape the heat of this desert.
Oh.
Even though he's in the biodome, but still.
Again, it makes me wonder what he'd do in Chapter 10. It'd be funny.
Well, who knows?
Beep bop beep bop. Tribe located several miles away. Beep bop.
Excellent. 38, Squidward. Unfortunately, you two will need to stay behind. This desert heat will be too dangerous for the both of you.
Understood.
So yeah, of course, Squidward, coming from an underwater world, cannot tolerate extreme heat. And as for Cyberman 38, because the only organic part of them is their brain, I thought it might be cooked in extreme heat as well, so that's why they're not going with the team for this chapter.
Huh.
This was actually quite funny because literally the day before you uploaded this, I said, I've just realised, how has Squidward been able to breathe in all of these episodes? And then you showed that, so it does show his biological side, I guess, in nowhere. They just...
Well, oftentimes they can't go up on land, but there have been some instances where, through magical means, they've been able to go up on land and have no problems. But in my case, because they're actually a lot smaller in real life in the show, I just thought because Fresh is bringing them to his world, why not size them up and give them the ability to breathe on land? So that explains it.
I love how it's Squidward we're questioning, but not the giant walking hand behind everyone. It's Lefty.
Yeah.
We just don't question it.
We shall see what else can be done with the ship.
We are low on time and options. We will just have to walk to that tribe. Follow me.
We're walking there? Yes, Captain.
Blimey. It never gets this hot in hot in Scotland. So yep, there we go with Malcolm once again misspelling things. Because this was kind of a suggestion from my dad that Malcolm should be slipping up with his words a bit more often, so this was my attempt at doing that for this scene.
I think Malcolm is like the comedic one on your side. Like, I do quite like Malcolm. He's become one of my favourite ones of the group, so I like that he got the focus here. Like, he's the one who's in this. Like,
so yeah, in this shot you can clearly see the 3D references I made for Blooper and Pegasus, which were done in 3D Paint. So yeah. Yeah, this shot I was pretty proud of the team walking past the squelchers in the pond.
okay, when I saw this, for Christmas I got a Danger Mouse box set, the classic Danger Mouse series. Because I always liked watching Danger Mouse as a kid.
Nice.
And I can think of one episode where Danger Mouse and Penfold are walking through the desert, and Danger Mouse has always got this surreal, random stuff in the background, like God knows how they came up with it. And when they were going through the desert in this, I had serious Danger Mouse vibes once they got to Skara. And the funny thing was, while I was thinking that, eventually it gets to it, you add the Thames. Da, 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 da.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God. So I wondered, were you inspired by Danger Mouse in this episode, or was it just coincidence?
Nope, this was just pure coincidence. I just thought I was pulling off something original here.
I mean, it is original. There's a lot. I just admire the creativity in this episode. Like, I say it in my reaction. It just so happened I got Danger Mouse vibes, and then that played, and I was like, oh my God. It was just really funny.
So yeah, I thought if we were going to explore these characters' planets, I thought why not add a little bit of flora and fauna here and there as well. So yeah, the squelchers are what I've named these purple frog-like creatures, and believe it or not, I'm actually the one who's doing like the croaking of them.
Oh.
Yeah, it's how I accomplished their croaking was actually pretty tricky because I had to like breathe in but also shape my mouth as if I was doing a really low voice, so it would come out as something like this, or I can't exactly pull it off now, but it was along those lines.
When I reacted to your Spider origin story, like, I thought that was one of your best videos, and I think this one is probably, I'd argue, is up there with your most creative because of all the background stuff that you added. Like, it's just really good.
So yeah, one last thing I do want to bring up regarding the squelchers is that I genuinely develop backstories and descriptions of a lot of the aliens and plant life you see around you. Like, you see them eating a bug out of the air, jumping up in the air, and...
Think you'll ever bring that stuff, the backstory stuff, to a video? Describing it?
Yeah, I might do a whole video showing off concept art and explaining backstories and such. So yeah.
That'd be cool.